All right, hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is a video about 5 things that I learned during my 7-day fast. So if you haven't watched that video, I will try to remember to link it up here. I guess you don't technically have to watch it first, but I will recommend that you do watch it eventually. Okay, so 5 things I learned, and this is personally that I learned. So kind of not really about the fast per se, but the revelations that I got. So try not to make this too long, but I do want to just do a deep dive this time. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right in. I wish these headphones would stop coming out my ear. Okay, so number 1, so I wrote my notes down because I didn't want to get too off track, but I am going to take my time. So the first one is to listen to your own body. So this is a 2-parter. Listen to your own body. So I know a lot of times during a fast, we might start watching YouTube videos about other people's experiences and what you should do and what you should not do, and make sure you do this and make sure you do that. You just remember that your body is your own, and it's not a one-size-fits-all for everybody. Even though, yeah, you should probably stay within certain guidelines of what is correct during a fast, you have to be in tune with your own body. So the reason I say that is because I personally didn't need to worry about electrolytes as much as I thought I did. So I feel like I kind of screwed myself by getting electrolytes. I probably should have, I bought a powder that actually had a little bit of calories and carbs in it, and I didn't use, even throughout the whole time, I didn't even use 1 pack. They came in little packs, and I thought I was feeling bad because I was losing electrolytes, but I don't think I was losing electrolytes on day 2. I think I was drinking too much water and diluting my blood, but we're gonna get to that in a minute. So just not, you'll know when it's time to replace some electrolytes, and then I think you'll know the way to do that. And I probably should have maybe done more of a supplement tablets, specifically get magnesium tablets and potassium tablets, and just have a spoonful of table salt and have some baking soda or something. I think that would have been good. But at the end of the day, I stopped taking the electrolytes maybe day 3, and I didn't take any time else, and I didn't get a headache. I felt better after not worrying about electrolytes at all than when I was starting out. But I don't think me feeling bad was electrolyte dependent. I don't think they had anything to do with each other, to be honest. So listen to your own body and make your own choices, and not necessarily go strictly off what they say about you need to be replacing your electrolytes. Okay, it's even better if you have a doctor to be monitoring those things for you. So yeah, that's number 1. I'm going to go ahead and move on to number 2, which is going to be a little more personal, I think. So number 2, I have wrote down that your relationship with food can be easily applied to other relationships. Just think about how you treat food and how you treat people. So I'm going to give this example for my personal life. So let's say you have an ex, meaning ex, and you love that ex so much, and well, you did when they weren't your ex. You loved them so much. It was always honeymoon phase. Everything was sweet, we'll use that word, so delicious, what's it called, indulgent. You just indulged in it. It's so good, almost like the sweets and the sugar and whatnot, and it's so good. So then you get cut off. Something goes terribly wrong, and you no longer have access to your ex or a certain type of food or sugar or carbs or chips, and now you are kind of first of all, you're hurt. It's gonna take a minute for you to get right. You're gonna be feeling some type of way, and it doesn't feel pleasant to be cut off from that pleasant source. So then you go through this period of healing. I'm trying to go back and forth between people and and food, or you go through this fasting period where, interestingly enough, in the very beginning, you're still very much craving the food. Like, it's very much in your face. Your stomach is growling. All you can think about is the food. But then something changes, and then it's like, well, I'm no longer hungry for the food. I'm actually okay without it. I'm actually okay without that person. We're doing pretty good. And then transition to the end, post fast, or you're pretty much healed, and yes, you're ready to eat, or you're ready to be in a relationship again, but what type of food are you necessarily wanting to eat? Now, maybe some of you haven't fasted before, you're just now like kind of learning about fasting, but I'm gonna tell you from my experience multiple times that when you're done with the fast, the last thing you want, it can still look good. Like when you're in the store going past, like, dang, that looks good. That pizza looks good. Them brownies look good. But like your mind and your stomach are not, they're just both like, that's going to make me feel kind of bad. I don't think I want to participate in that tomfoolery. It still kind of looks good on the surface, but your stomach probably can't handle it, and you don't even have the appetite for something so sweet, so toxic, so indulgent. Like, you really have changed your whole inner being to want to be more attracted to healthier food. So when you get done with your fast, suddenly like, oh man, I can't wait to have a salad. I can't wait to have some almonds. I can't wait to have some smoothies. Like, and this might just be me, but it happens every time. I didn't want to pick up not one single chip. I didn't want to pick up any cookies. It could still look good, but I'm still trying to place that back to with a person. And this is just a life lesson, in my opinion, about once you come out of a relationship that you thought you loved and it was so good, it tasted so good. I'm talking about taste in a relationship. You felt so in love, it was like your head over heels in the clouds, but that was not sustainable for your long-term health of your life. And then once you get cut off from it, and then you're kind of reintroduced to like you could have this type of person again, you're not even looking that way. like you tried it. Don't spin the block for me, because I'm not even looking towards you. I know what you're about. You're good for one night, and then from then on it's toxic. It's poisoning my blood. I don't want anything to do with it. So that's a good, it may not, your healthy kick may not last for long, but I do think it is a good reset to be like, okay, so I really know what's healthy. I can still get pleasure from healthy foods, healthy relationships. It could still be fun without it being dramatically overdoing it. You know what I mean. You can still enjoy a nice salad with some strawberries, a nice smoothie that's not too sweet, but it's sustainable. You can have a smoothie every day. You cannot have donuts and coffee every day. You can, but think about how you're really going to feel in 6 months if you do that every day. Apply that to the relationship. So that is one of my personal lessons, that just be reminded that it's better to have a healthy foundation that lasts you, that can easily sustain you for a long period of time, and just know that your brain chemistry will change once you've been cut off from something. Even though you thought you couldn't live, I can't live without pizza, I can't live without that man, I can't live without that girl, she's so pretty, oh my gosh, she just fulfills me in every way. Yes, you can. And then you're also not even going to be attracted to it once you totally had a change internally. So that is another lesson that I personally got from this fast, and I think I've gotten that lesson before, but it just came as a reminder. So number 3 is health equals sacrifice. And I'm going to start with the monetary piece about this, and maybe even tie in like the dopamine response to it. And so monetarily, financially, it seems that it's easier for us to spend. Now, granted, I know healthy choices are more expensive. I know that, especially in this world of inflation and corporate greed. But it seems that we can easily spend $10 every morning on our favorite coffee and donut. I don't know, whatever you like to spend money on that's not necessarily healthy. For that like immediate gratification, that dopamine hit, that reward. I know, and it's nice to, treat yourself every once in a while, but it's easier to get that immediate dopamine hit right now than to invest into something healthy you're not going to see. You might not even see or feel any results right then, even though it is beneficial for the long term. So for example, choosing smoothies over coffee. Well, coffee's not too bad for you, but picking healthy option A versus non-healthy option B is not as fun, even though at the end of the day, I do think it'll add up to the same amount. It might not even be that much of difference in price, but I don't know where I'm going with this. You have to be willing to sometimes pay a little bit more for your health, or be willing to push back that reward of not having that dopamine right now. Like, yeah, I had to choose this over that, but in 6 months I'm gonna look really, really good. When it's summertime, my body's gonna be banging, and I'm not gonna have to rush into a 30-day quick fix because I've been investing in myself and sacrificing the time to exercise, the money to buy healthier food, and I've been putting my emotions aside to not have that immediate gratification. I think that's what I'm trying to say. So even just like exercising is not that fun, and not fun in the moment. I mean, it's cool after the fact when you get those endorphins, and that's fine and dandy. And you start looking in the mirror, you start flexing, like, okay, I see my little abs coming through. Like, yeah, that's cool. That's a nice little hit. But that's still way harder than I'm just gonna get a box of pizza, lay in the bed. That feels really darn good to me. And you can have that feeling multiple times a day, right? In whatever way you want to let your mind go, you can get some dopamine in some creative ways. But health does equal sacrifice, I do believe. So whether that's money, trying to make sure that you spend, well, not make sure, but being okay with spending a little more to get healthier foods, I think that's worth it in the long run, because you can also spend that much money on something totally frivolous and pointless. So just once you start complaining about, but healthy food costs so much, think about all the subscriptions of TV you have and how much that adds up to every month. Think about all the silly things that you really don't need, that's not helping you in any way, that you'll spend it on, but you won't spend money on healthier food. You won't spend money on a gym membership. You won't spend money on getting some dumbbells for yourself. You won't spend money on, like, that's the sacrifice or compromise that you have to be willing to make. So, and I think how that ties to fasting is that whenever I was on like day 2 or 3 on my fast, maybe even 3, 4, 5, I was just so tired and fatigued, and like I couldn't move, and it felt very, very sucky. But I remember the end goal and why I was doing it, and just knowing that I had to sacrifice, even though in the grand scheme of things was 2 or 3 days out of your entire life, like that is really like pointless to even really be complaining about 2 or 3 days. But in the moment, emotionally and physically, it's not fun. All you want to do is feel better. It is draining. It sucks. It does not feel good. And so having to sacrifice how well you feel, your well-being temporarily for the end goal of having renewed cells in your body and a reset, like it's still that delayed reward is there. And so that was for me more of an emotional sacrifice and a physical sacrifice. Even my productivity was very, very low. I had to just put my laptop down, couldn't get any YouTube videos out. Like, oh well, like that's an emotional, physical sacrifice that I had to give up for the end goal, but I'm still glad I did it. So just be mindful of what are you willing to sacrifice and why, and what are you freely giving your time and energy to that is not really helpful at all, period. So I don't know, but that's just one of those thoughts for me. So let me move on to the next one. Okay, so my next thing that I learned from this 7-day fast is do not stack challenges. And I'm trying to apply this to just life in general. Do not stack challenges or you'll make both things that you're trying to do worse, and you cannot give 100% to either one of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and admit that during my fast, I tried to also do a water challenge, which was drink a gallon of water a day. And little did I know that doing a water drinking challenge during a fast, I thought, yeah, you're supposed to stay hydrated during the fast. This would work perfectly. I get to stay full off water. But I did not know that your body does not want you to over drink water when you are also not getting the electrolytes you need. Like if you're not eating, okay, what am I trying to say? This is me personally about the electrolyte thing, which is probably why I did myself in anyway. So on a fast, you're not getting any electrolytes, right? And so your body's already trying to figure out a way to keep your electrolyte homeostasis balanced or whatever. When you then add over drinking, now I'm not just saying drink the water that you need. When you're thirsty, drink the water. When you're over drinking and you are diluting your nutrients even more on top of a fast, you're really doing yourself in. It's not going to be pretty. You're probably going to get headaches. You're not going to feel good, feel fatigued. That's not a good idea. And I had to learn that the hard way. But that's why I was like, well, when I stopped worrying about electrolytes and when I stopped drinking so much water, I felt better. And it's like, I should not have even tried to do those two together. I just thought it'd be good to knock two birds, one stone, you know? And so I'm going to kind of apply this. The first thing I thought of was like when you are in school during sports. And I've seen this multiple times where a student will do 2 sports at a time. And yeah, they might want to do both sports and they might feel like they can give their all to both sports. But in reality, you can't give your all to both sports. You don't have enough time in the day. You don't have enough energy to be able and focus to be able to give 100% to 2 things. I personally don't think so. So one of those things is going to suffer. So you can't play tennis and be a cheerleader because that demand is too much. And so I personally, when the sports things comes, I personally think it's best to just stick to one and give your all to one. So I might try the water challenge again, but knowing when you try to stack 2 challenges, you might be making both things you're doing worse. They might have an impact on each other, a negative impact on each other. So me trying to drink more water made my fast worse, than me fasting made drinking water hard. Like literally my stomach didn't even like to drink the water during the fast. So just think about, well, what 2 things are you trying to stack on top of each other to kind of consolidate your actions or consolidate what you have to do? And is it really giving you the results that you want to see, or is it negatively impacting both? Right? I don't know if you can apply this to work. If you want to, now this probably is a bad example, but if you want to put your all into a job and then you want to put your all into a side hustle, and you're trying to do both every day, but then you're up all night, you can't get to work on time, you're suffering in your job performance, and then you get some bad something, and then you're unmotivated to do your side hustle, and then that all just kind of both things fall apart. You have to think about, okay, well, how can I either separate these completely or just have this time of my life to be dedicated to one thing, right? So you could say, okay, I'm going to put my all into my 9 to 5 during the week. But then when it comes to weekend, we're going to pretend like we don't have a 9 to 5, and we're going to put our all into just our side business. And that way you keep it separate. You can give all your energy to one thing during a specific time, and then give all your energy to another thing at that specific time. So keeping things separate and not stacking, I think is better. And I think that's a life lesson, especially for people who like to be efficient, which is me, and and like to do multiple things at once. That's not the best idea, at least for me. So you don't have to listen to what I'm saying, but that is a pretty deep one for me. Even I will go ahead and tell y'all that I try to even have multiple YouTube channels, which I am very capable of doing. I do think I have a good management and dedication to be able to handle multiple things at a time. But when I'm trying to do, okay, I'm going to do a video for this channel, this channel, and this channel, and I'm literally trying to do them all within 3 days. Like, first of all, it's overwhelming. The quality of the videos suffer. I'm just trying to get them out for y'all to grow the channel, and that ends up being detrimental to me, my mind, for everybody who's watching, because you can tell that the quality isn't as good. And it's like, okay, learn how to focus on literally one thing at a time. And when you feel like you're done with that, close it down, open up the other one, work on that solely. Stop trying to stack things on top of each other. And I don't know if that applies to you, but it definitely applies to me. And I'm going to go ahead and move on. I think I gave enough examples there. I'm going to go ahead and move on to my final thing that I learned from my 7-day fast. The last thing I have on my list is, and I just wrote 2 words and I have my list right here, is slow down. And this may just be for me, but if it applies to you, then just listen. So before, and like I just said previously, I am capable of managing multiple things at a time. I do think that's kind of just one of my gifts, and the way my brain works is like literally I can compartmentalize, work on 5 things at a time, get it done, very efficient, cool. But being on grind time 100% of the time is unhealthy. Is unhealthy. And I know maybe you've heard the conversation around hustle culture and how that is not good for the long term. It's not sustainable. And so I was used to, well, I have the ability to move fast and do a lot of stuff and really be dedicated and consistent for a long period of time. So I have that capability, but that does not mean it is healthy. And, you know, even mentally it's not healthy. So backing up, I am in school during classes, and we know like December, January is like winter break. And so even after my exams, that's when I started to really be more serious about my content creation and just kind of diving in. But instead of just doing focusing on one channel, I decided to focus on multiple, which is cool. But I really didn't stop grinding per se until this fast because I had no choice at this time. So I'm saying a lot, sorry. So I'm sorry, I'm a little flustered because I'm trying to think about everything I just said. So it was non-stop waking up early, going to sleep late just to work on is something I'm passionate about, which I do love doing. But I realized it was a very unbalanced and unsustainable way to be. So if you can't do something think about, can I do this for the whole year? If it's no, then you probably need to be a little bit more balanced about it. So I definitely know that I can't wake up every morning at 7 a.m. I mean, I can, but to work on that particular thing all day long, and even though I love editing and working on videos, I can't do it every day. I don't want to do it every day, and then that'd be the only thing on my mind every day. That's not sustainable. So I feel like it's twofold. Number one, make sure you give yourself restrictions on something that you're working on. So for me, I needed to make sure that I limit the time I'm spending, even though like my goal takes a lot of time and takes a lot of dedication. And, rushing to it in this unsustainable fashion is, once you get the reward, what are you going to do? Like, once you get where you want to go, you still have to keep doing the thing. So if you're burnt out by the time you get there, was it worth it? No, you want to make sure you're doing something in a way that once you get to the goal, that you can still keep doing it. So number one is being more balanced. And number two, when it's time to literally just stop cold turkey, stop doing it, take a vacation, lock the kids out the house, lock yourself out the house, and just get away and just do nothing and lay in bed all day and be absolutely the most unproductive person that you've ever been. When it's time to do that, do that. Don't feel guilty about it, because I don't care what I'm trying to say hookup culture. Lord, we heard about that too. It doesn't matter what they say about hustle culture. Like, what it looks like is not really what it is, and you should not even feel bad for, I need my break. Yeah, take your break. So during this fast, I was just so much more fatigued than normal. It didn't make sense to me why I couldn't even if I couldn't get out of bed, I felt like I should still be able to look at my laptop. Like, no, my brain connections weren't even forming. I couldn't even do it. I had no energy. I didn't care. So everything was halted for the week. And even though, like, in the beginning of when you're content creating and trying to get stuff off the ground, they say, hey, make sure you putting out a video a day. Like, ain't nobody doing that. I'm not going to do it. No. And I was going to do it. I was trying to be consistent. But if that comes at the cost of your well-being, it's not worth it. And if you can't sustain it, it's not going to be worth it. So that can also tie into what your purpose is going to come regardless of how much you are abiding by the rules of whatever it is. Like, if you're supposed to do this so you can get somewhere, like, if you're in your purpose, it's going to come naturally, easily. Whether you're putting out a video a day or a video a month. You feel me? If y'all want to subscribe and help me out, that'll be good. When you feel the urge to slow down, despite how busy the world seems to be and how fast the world seems to be going, don't be afraid to be the only one to dip out and just be like, I think I'm gonna go to bed. Right? I think I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna stay in bed all day today. I'm gonna take the day off for no good reason. I'm just gonna be in bed. Now, of course, we're not gonna get into that pattern of not doing anything, because that's a whole separate issue. Then at that point, guys will be like, get up. Get up. It's time to do something. So there needs to be a balance for sure. So what was I saying? Twofold. One, be balanced in all things that you do, making sure you're doing something that can be sustained for a long period of time. And number two, make sure that you listen to your intuition and to yourself. When it's time to stop. No matter what you think you're supposed to be doing, it's okay. It's okay to stop, because I really couldn't do anything, and it was annoying in the moment, because I like to be moving and I'm good at being fast and effective and efficient. But I was like, can I do this every day for how long? I mean, because when I get to where I'm going, I still have to keep going. So yeah, that is a very, very important lesson for me personally that I learned during this fast too. If it's time to slow down, either you're gonna do it on your own or God's gonna make you do it. So pick one. I think I'd rather it be on my own time. So even now I'm a little bit sleepy, like, yo. And today is the day I broke my fast, and I just finished my smoothie, and I'm still like, I kind of want to get on my computer and start back up, but it's like, but do I? It's already about 2:00. I might just take a nap, and that's okay. And so being okay with literally stopping is tough for me, because I do like to get a lot of stuff done, and I'm able to do it, but like, breathe, slow down. If you're supposed to have it, it's gonna come, and sometimes it'll come to you even easier if you just let go of you trying to force your way through, power your way through, hustle your way through. That's almost the energy of I won't say lack, like, I don't have it, I have to chase after, I have to go get it, instead of, no, I can slow down. I can take it at the pace, the flow, go with the flow, let stuff come to me, let the ideas come to me at the appropriate time. It's almost a better way to be. You can breathe a little bit more. You can make this into an ASMR, and we can just take a chill pill and go to another land and just, find our souls in a different dimension. But anyways, or we can subscribe to the channel for more videos. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video right here. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, or give it a thumbs up. You don't have to. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, it does, but I'm not going to force anybody. If you like to see the fasting video, it will be right over here. And if you've already seen that video, go find some more videos that you might like. It's probably not much, because, health journey videos take a long time to make. It's not, I can't pop out one a day. So let's be realistic here. If you go ahead and subscribe, then you'll see the video as soon as it's posted. So I don't know why you wouldn't do it. Anyways, go watch this video over here, and I'll see y'all in the next video.